Alright guys, today's about the basics. Basic utensils, basic tools. Because that's what we're about, the basics. Then from there you can expand and do whatever you want. So, let's get started. First of all, pots and pans. You're going to need one of these little guys. And if you get a set, a lot of times you get a little guy, and then you get one of these bigger ones, and then you'll get one of these big honking things. Okay? Okay guys, I'm trying to stop from saying okay all the time, so you can help me with this. Every time I say okay, you do a shot. Okay? Thanks for helping out. And if you don't get a set, and for some reason you're needing to piece them together, just get the little guy and skip this one and go straight to this guy. And another little thing, and we'll call this a maximum because we've got to work these in here, right? Yeah, I know. Okay. Make sure that these things are oven safe, because you can brown something and then pop them in the oven right here in the pan, and it's very handy. So make sure that they're oven safe. And whether they're Tupperware or not, I really don't care. But yeah, I know it's Teflon or non-stick, not Tupperware. Slip of the tongue, big deal. Just get a little saucepan or a little frying pan, and then get the big thing, because that gives you a lot of versatility. So there's that. And then also, if you get a set, you're going to get these two guys. Okay? Which are handy. But one thing you're not going to get, a lot of times if you get a set, you'll get those two, and then they'll give you some big-ass thing that's like for making, you know, monster soup and that sort of thing. Monster soup. Okay. Anyway, a lot of times you'll get those two and then a really monster-sized thing. So what you won't get a lot of times is something like this, which this thing I've had for so long I don't even know how, can't even read how many quarts or whatever it is. But as you can see, it's bigger, and this is very versatile. Going to try to stop doing that too. So anyway, this guy, too small to make like spaghetti or cook pasta or boil potatoes or whatever. This guy is perfect for that. So you want one of those. And again, if you're piecing together, just get the big one and the little one. That'll give you plenty of versatility. Alright, that's pots and pans. And of course, if you get sets, you know, maybe you get it for Christmas or your birthday, I know you're going to be thrilled. But you don't get a set and you just need to piece together, and go for those guys. Something else you're going to need, casserole dish. And I know you can probably, you know, have your girlfriend go with you, that way you can act like she's buying it or whatever. But you want a 1.5 quart, get one of the bigger ones. Don't get the little guy, because it's going to be kind of worthless. So, casserole dish, you're going to need that. And another little basic thing, this one I shouldn't even have to tell you, but a colander. If you ever had cooked spaghetti or whatever, macaroni and cheese, whatever, unless you plan on fishing that stuff out of there with your hand, you're going to need a colander. And here's another one you may not have thought of, but a mixing bowl. And you can see about the size of it. Just get one of the big ones. If you can get a set, great. You'll probably use, you know, half of them. But, you know, it's nice to have. But if nothing else, get one of these plastic mixing bowls. It won't cost you hardly anything. So, moving on. Measuring cup. It's a must. Now, a lot of times, especially after you start cooking, you're going to learn to eyeball things, and you're not going to really need this as much, but you're still going to need it. And be sure you get the one that breaks it down by quarters and thirds in the measurements. And it's also helpful if it has ounces on it. They don't all do that, so pay attention to that when you pick one of these up. Glass, plastic, I don't care. But you know, we'll look at the measurements and make sure it's got everything on there. like I said, quarters, thirds, and ounces. And generally these come in a 2-cup maximum. So there's that. And another little quick side note, if you don't want to get a spoon rest, that's fine. They are really handy as far as keeping the place clean, keeping your cleanup down to a minimum, which will be a good thing. You will thank me. But if you don't want to get one of those, you know, when you get a set of dishes, they always give you cups, a set of 4 cups, and then you get like saucers with them, like you're ever going to use that. But just take one of those saucers that are sitting in the back of your cupboard for, you know, the last 20 years. Take one of those out and set it on the counter for you to use that as a spoon rest. That'll help with cleanup a lot. So there's that. And then speaking of cleanup, there's a little short bit here about this, but one thing I wanted to mention is oven mitts. If you want to get them, great, nice to have, but if not, just use a kitchen towel. Wrap your hand around like this to get something out of the oven, or if you got to take a lid off of a pot, you know, they're good for that too. So it's good to have one of these around, and there's other reasons too, as we're going to see right now. Okay guys, get used to keeping some of these around. Pick up a 3-pack, not real expensive. You're going to be washing your hands a lot, wiping your hands off a lot. Unless you want to wipe out a major rainforest going through a bazillion paper towels, pick up some of these. And you can also use them for hot pads. So keep your hands clean, keep your kitchen clean. You're cooking in there, right? And while we're at it, keep your apartment clean. Something genetically happens to women when they get out into the world. They become less accepting of slobs. So if your place is trashed, you better have a big dick. Because if she comes over, your place is trashed, she's going to want to put butcher paper down on everything before she gets naked. And who keeps that around? But she comes over, your place is clean, you cook her a nice meal, her clothes are going to fall off faster than a hooker during Fleet Week. Okay, we had to break this up. So when you come back, we're going to talk about knives and as many other dangerous things as I can possibly think of. Want to keep this manly.